Huh?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam, and on behalf of Book Soup, I'd like to thank you all for joining us for our next event with photographer Magnus Hastings and RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars winner Alaska to discuss Magnus's new book, Rainbow Revolution. We'll be hosting more virtual events in the near future, which you can learn more about on our website by signing up for our email newsletter, as well as following us on social media at Book Soup, or following our Crowdcast page here. And past events are also available on our YouTube channel. Our next event is scheduled for tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m., with Riva Lehrer in conversation with Amazon Original Transparent creator Joey Soloway to discuss Riva's new book, Gollum Girl, a Memoir. Tonight's event will end with a Q&A, but actually, if you want to ask questions ahead of time, you're more than welcome to do that, and we can ask them throughout the presentation. If you see, please do that by clicking the Ask a Question button at the bottom of the screen, and you can input them there. And if you see a question that you'd like for our speakers to answer, you can click the like button, and it will bump them up in the queue. And we will try to answer as many questions as time will allow. Also, please support Book Soup and our authors this evening by purchasing a copy of tonight's featured book, which you can do by clicking the green button also below the viewer screen, and it'll open it up in a new window so it won't interrupt viewing, and you can finish your checkout process on our Book Soup website. Magnus came in earlier this week to sign copies, so they are signed, and I believe we're the only place that has signed copies, so if you would like one, do not hesitate. And with all that said, let me introduce our guest speakers for this evening. Magnus Hastings is a British photographer based in Los Angeles and London whose work has been published in GQ, Glamour, US Weekly, Attitude, Cosmopolitan, Total Film, and many others. The author of Why Drag, his photographs have also been featured in many other books and in several solo exhibitions. Our other special guest tonight is Alaska Thunderfuck 5000, who is a Glamazonian xenomorph from the planet Glamtron. After crash landing on planet Earth in the mid-1980s, Alaska has been attempting to acquire enough Twitter followers to get her spacecraft back up and running. Having explored a variety of media, including but not limited to music, television, film, fashion, and theater, Alaska is best known as an inductee into the RuPaul's Drag Race Hall of Fame and continues to share her unique brand of otherworldly glamour and irreverent humor with the world and the universe beyond. We are so honored to have both of them. I'm personally so excited to have you both here with us tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to them. And thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi. Oh my gosh, how's it going? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great.
This is my first one of these, so this is interesting.
Oh, you're a live stream girl now, honey. This is your initiation. This is great. We're out on your porch.
Yeah, we're being very careful with social. Well, it's not socially distant,
right?
But it's fresh air.
Exactly.
It's outside.
Exactly. It's a temperate, crisp 60 degrees.
That's why I've got my cardigan on.
West Hollywood. And we're so grateful to all of you who have tuned in and joined us. And so what? We're talking about your new book.
Yeah, so we're talking about my new book, which is it's coming out properly on the 24th, but you can get early release copies signed from Book Soup. Oh, well,
who's she?
Who's she?
Who's that beautiful woman?
Well, she was my test. So when I talk about how the book came about, I was sitting in a bar drinking, trying to come up with a new project and a new idea, and I thought, I wanted something that would work on social media because that's what all the kids were doing.
Yes,
and I wanted something, and it was Trump time, so it was depressing, and. Yeah. Or our rights were being taken away, and so I came up with this idea, and I thought, what works on social media? A square, and
love a square.
What about a box? A box, because then people can create things within it, and if it's a white box, it's flattering light. And then at the same time, I came up with this concept of shooting people, and then 150, 120 people dropping their image all at the same time on a date.
Complete.
So. Yeah.
Breaking of the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so within 3 days, I had my box built, and I had asked Alaska to come and be my guinea pig. And then she came and did this. I think we had a shoot, and then we tacked this on the end, didn't we? And then,
yeah.
But we went downstairs and did this. At the time, it was in my kind of garage. And we created this, and then I just went, oh, well, oh my God, it's amazing. It's going to work. And also then it was really useful because I had an image of Alaska. So when I was approaching people to ask them to take part in it, I would have Alaska's picture tacked on, and they'd go, oh, well, if Alaska's doing it, then it must be good. so they all jumped on board. So that was the kind of genesis of it. And then for 3 months, I shot 120 people in secret.
So wait, it was 120 people?
I shot 120 people in 3 months.
Oh my Jesus.
And on the 4th of May, we dropped them. But I was also, no one was allowed their image. No, so no one had their image. No leaks. I was terrified that somebody would leak an image, or they'd be bored and they wouldn't bother to drop their image. But every single person, without fail, on the 4th at noon, dropped their image, and then we had a gallery show that night, and it went crazy, and it trended onto a gay face. It was then gay face, and the hashtag gay face trended on Twitter, and it was all amazing. Hi, Jerwin. I can't really read any of that because my eyes are so bad.
Hi, Jerwin.
Frankenstein shoot.
The Frankenstein shoot. Girl, she knows everything.
Oh, the Frankenstein shoot. Oh,
literally knows everything.
Oh no, of course.
So wait, was that the same day?
Was it the same day as the
It must have been,
because I think I had that guy that I was briefly dating, who played Frankenstein.
He wasn't really that tall. Let's get that straight.
He wasn't that tall, and he was. Yeah, let's not talk about that. So
we won't get into that.
We won't get into that.
Tell us about the failed romance, Magnus.
Another failed romance. He was really boring. It wasn't my fault. He was an actor.
We love an actor. I love this image of me though, because I'm wearing bangs, which shows that I have versatility. Variety is the watchword for this bachelorette. And I pinned up plastic.
Nailed.
Oh, we use nails.
Hammer and nails.
I love it.
You're in the intro, in the actual inside of the book. Look. Oh no, that's the one we've got this place. You can't see that, sorry, that was hopeless. I had pictures of her hammering in the blue plastic.
I love that. So wait, okay, we have a list of questions, but this is just something I really want to know. Who was like the craziest box design setup? Did anyone go crazy and paint the box?
Yes, so the House of Avalon did that. I'm not sure what.
Girl, they'll do it. They'll bring it to you every ball.
I don't know if I've got. Oh my God! This is when it gets. House of Avalon, they painted. Oh yeah, number 100, Sam. So they basically they came in and painted. We had a tequila night, and they came in and painted the whole box pink.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so pink, and then we put paper over it, and then we it was like a real event, and I was thrilled with it because it completely transformed it, but still is the box. And because if they're going to do anything, they're going to do it the best. That kind of thing.
That's their thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that image.
Yeah.
I live.
And the first of it was then we did it, the first time we did it, so Grant, the one in the middle, it's like takes control. And so it was like carefully cut paper, and I went, no. And then I sealed them all in there, cut a tiny hole, and then just made them rip their way out of it. And so yeah, but that one still I love. Because it's also really it works with the others, and it feels very different, but still you've got the box. Excuse me, sorry, red wine, but
David, are we drinking tonight?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She knows we're drinking.
I've never tried it. I guess I'll give it a try.
I encourage everyone else to drink. Show the AIDS Day photo. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean the red one? Hang on. That's. Oh God, it's 100. There's no order to these. Sorry, everybody. Oh, I don't know if we've got it. That's not helpful. I don't have it in this list. I can show you in the book. Here, look. I can show you the World AIDS Day one like this.
So this is the actual book?
This is the book.
It smells like a new book.
That's the World AIDS Day one. Sorry, is it my block? Blocking Alaska. So that was one that was the only one I was commissioned to do. Somebody came to me and asked me to create something for, it's like home HIV testing, and they were going to pay me to do something, and then I managed to wangle it into yet another box so I could post it on my feed and not ruin the gallery effect, and get paid, and it worked.
I love that.
And I love that. And then it was that thing of a real mix of people, and I've got Ezra in there, so I've got trans man in there. I just did similar to the cover. I went for a real mix of people. And that kind of inspired the idea for the cover too, of getting that group of 6 people and a mixture.
Yeah. Speaking of the cover, it's right here. Do you want to share it on the thing too? Oh, look.
Yeah, that's me ticking. That's like the rainbow, and then we've also got black and brown and rainbow, if you see what I mean. So I covered everything, because you'd say is mixed, and Dex is black, because you've got black, brown, and the rainbow colors, and then trans man, trans woman, everything. And then my sister at one point smugly said to me, "And is there an Asian on it?" And I said, "Yes, there is. The lovely Victor Tang." Thank you. So shut up. But yeah.
That was such a fun day. That was like, I feel like that was nearly before shit hit the fan and the world ended.
Yeah.
It was like one of the last things that I got to do with like a shoot.
Oh no, we did it it happened just before COVID. Yeah. I got back from London. I've just seen this question. Magnus, can you see your finished? Oh, hi Victor. Can you see your finished? Hi Victor. Can you see, this is Victor up in the red kilt for everyone else watching who's asking me a question. Can you see your finished product before you see it? Do you mean, can I see sometimes can I see it in my head? And it's rare.
Okay.
I mean, I remember there's certain images that you imagine and you put together, and like the cover is kind of exactly what I saw. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas other things, you have a starting point and then you play around and you see what happens. It's like people would come to me with their concept and I go, well, I know it, I politely steer them around from it because it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
That was shit.
No, you don't tell them
They don't tell them that. You go, what a brilliant idea, but let's just try this. So, you know.
That's always how I feel like whenever we do a photo shoot. It's like we have some preconceived ideas generally, and then once we get in the room and we start taking pictures and we're warmed up and like things sort of just
we both come up with our ideas. We go, I'll say you're very good at having a very specific idea.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I've said, now what, I started directing too early. and you're like, and then she's very sweet because she won't tell me off. She'll just go, and I go, oh, you know what you want, don't you? And she'll go, mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I'll do that, and then I'll go off and steer into my version of it or what it's made me think of. But so it works really well. We've got to do this with your book cover, haven't we?
We did, because I just wanted to be like, hi, I'm in a fur coat. And then we started playing with like, oh, we're holding it up. And then I'm like, I'm going to be Fame Monster and hold it in front of my face. And that's the one we ended up using for the single, for Let It Snow.
Out now.
No, it's not out yet, but it's coming. It's available for pre-order.
God, don't you love that phrase? Fucking pre-order. This has been pre-order.
Pre-save. Pre-order. The new thing now. Pre-save. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Somebody just made me pre-save their thing.
Please pre-save Let It Snow at this time.
This is all in camera, yes. What do you mean, Carl and Scott? Oh, they can't answer.
Oh, wait, no, like when you shoot, do you do CGI? Like these in particular?
No, these are like mini theater. This is theater. This is these shots are meant. It's like you see. Oh, can we put Bo Banks up, please?
Bo Banks.
Because the point is that I wanted it to be theater and lo-fi special effects, and so you see. Hang on, what's Bo's thingy? If they just had, I can't see anything. Oh, there you go. So, for instance, this is the perfect example. I didn't want to just retouch out. I want to make it work. So it's more interesting if you see that he's standing on a box.
Yeah.
And then I realized.
Oh my God.
And then I went and we shot it once, and then I went, oh my God! I looked at it and I went, what I need to do is paint his back shoe white. because then it'll really feel like he's flying. So, and I love the fact that you can see the strings. If you look closer, you see the strings holding the bomb up, and you see his, you know, but it really looks like he's flying through the air. And so, oh, hang on, my favorite. So this was the whole point, was it was meant to be theatre, and the idea that I then there's only a couple of things that would be retouchy, would be like if I've spun the box round so it looks like somebody's climbing up the side of it or something like that. That's the closest to any kind of retouch. I didn't really retouch people's faces. It's just because the light is so flattering generally, that you doesn't need it. It's soft and gorge. This is one of my favorite pictures in the book. Sorry if I'm
Do you have a favorite? Is that unfair?
This is one of them. No, I have. There's so many.
I love this one. I haven't seen this one yet.
I have personal relationships to so many of them. I mean, this was he came to me. Bo came to me saying, "Can I do a shot in your book?" And I was like, "I don't want another porn star in a jockstrap." I was like, and so then I came up with this concept of him doing that sort of pin-up, you know, army pin-up thing, and he loved it. And so but that was, you know, I had the bomb made. It was a whole drama.
Yeah, because that's a whole ass thing.
I had oh god, what's she called? I've forgotten her name now. Somebody we all know who made the bomb. It's amazing. But then there's like the Merman one is another one of my favorites. Joshua Parker.
Ethel Merman.
No, there you go. So again, making like it's meant to be like, so you can see the strings on the seagulls.
Wait, what are those waves?
These waves are cardboard waves.
Where do you get those? Those are
they were made for me. I asked somebody to make them, and the whole point was I wanted it to feel like a bad summer stock or school play version of Splash, and I wanted my merman to be. I didn't want some buff merman. I wanted him to be a screaming, chunky queen because I thought that was much funnier.
Yes. Oh my god, I love.
Yeah. So and things like so that's one of my favorites. I mean, there's loads because of that. I have relation. As I said, the one I did of Kathy Griffin, I love because I came up with that idea for her, and then I had the whole the Statue of Liberty outfit made for her, and initially initially it was Plastique Pussy who makes lots of costumes. Is incredible drag queen, and she initially gave me drawings, and it was all kind of draggy, one shoulder off, and I'm like, Kathy's in her 60s, and I want her to look like the Statue of Liberty. I don't want her to look like a drag version with no sleeves. And he immediately got it and then created this and it's literally like a sculpture she put on.
That's fantastic.
And Kathy had said, I'd asked her to take part, and her people said, what ideas have you got for her? And I said, well, it's supposed to be, you know, people giving me, what would they like to say? It's their box, what would they like to say? Right. And she said, I want to be patriotic and anti-Trump and pro-America. And so I went, and so I came up with this. Yeah. And I felt like it feels like it's something she should have done ages ago. It feels so her.
Yeah, it is very.
But she was great and she was lovely and we did that. So that was the most expensive one because of having that whole dress made. But it was, you know.
It's sickening.
What was that Gigi Good pic I saw in the picture roll? I love her photo. Oh yeah, where's Gigi? Gigi Good. She came in. I said I was being quite tough with drag queens. Hang on. Can you see Gigi Good? In your, look, you see, there's so many like Anginas. I love. That's Gigi Gorgeous and Nat Sketty. That's one they did, and that's sort of Nat's artwork, and so it's like, and it's got their. That's nice. It's a lot.
And the picket fans.
I know, but
they did the most.
No, because I said to them, so I didn't know they were going to actually do something like that. Oh, that one actually, that one of Coops. Anyway, so I came up with the idea of the flamingos and the picket fence, thinking because they're so the opposite of trailer trash, it would be kind of really cute. And they went, oh yeah, we love that, but also we want to
can you help us with our paints? We need to bring them in.
And then, and so then they created this, and it started off, and it got more and more and more, and it was like this. It was crazy, but it's there, you know. It's got all of their wedding days and things like that, and they love it.
Oh, I love that.
And also, it's just again, it's because most of them are simple, and this is kind of there's a lot. So I love that. hang on, there's another one I want to show. Oh, there's Gigi. There was Gigi Good. You're just there. There, that's it.
Oh.
So she came.
She better do all that. She's the fashion girl.
Well, also, and I said, with lots of the drag queens, I said I didn't want them, I wanted them to be androgynous. I didn't necessarily want them to be draggy.
Yeah.
Because I've got, I did wide drag, and also I had so many drag queens, and if I was gonna, and it was meant to be a real mixture of the community. And as I said, if I'm gonna put drag queens in, I'm gonna put most of the super famous ones in, because I'm doing this drop and I need them with 1 million followers. So it's something I care about. But anyway, so Gigi was recommended to me, and she came in and did that, and I loved it because it was doing that total mix of stuff. And now it's great because she's come off Drag Race and she's amazing.
She is. So just so you understand, this white box lived in your living room
for 2.5 years.
2.5 years? Work. I want to know, where is the box?
This one.
Is it chopped up?
Yeah, So I had four boxes. I had one in San Francisco, one in New York, one in London, and one here. And this finally, after 2 years of this one, we went into, we all got shut down, and I was doing my own pictures in it with my dog through quarantine.
Yes, I recall.
And it got to the point when I'd wake up in the morning and go, I just can't. There's so much pressure to come up with something. I was like, I don't know how long is this going to go on for. So in the end, then I started to just unscrew it, and then I thought I was going to save it, and then I went, fuck that, and I dragged it out into the street and just slung. I did it in two different. I didn't want to put the whole thing out there because it had my signature in the back, and I didn't want someone to just be able to take it and put it up. So I did it in two. I waited for half of it to be taken away, and then I put the rest out. And I've got a piece in there that I can use for things. Just a little piece. And also I figured if I need another box, it would be easier to just have another one made rather than to have this battered old. I mean, there's so many layers of paint on that box. Girl. So it was, it was a lot, and like holes drilled in it and stuff.
So did you always know it was going to be a book, or was it, someone asked this in the room, but did you know it was going to be a book, or was it like a social media thing?
No, it was both. I planned, I wanted to do something that I could put out there, and that was that. And also the whole thing about doing the secret drop, I'd not seen anyone do it before. So I wanted to see if it would work, and it did. But I also, it was always my intention to do a book. And so I was always looking at it. Yeah, I was looking at it as a book. And then my editor, not my editor, my literary agent, Dan, came up and said, I think you should maybe choose a few people and I'll get them to answer questions, which would then become essays. And I went, okay, that sounds actually good. So it has some text in it and something different. And then I chose very different, people who represented different parts of the LGBT community and sexual identities and genders. And I sent them this list of questions, and what I got back, people really opened up.
Yeah.
And there's some really incredibly moving answers. And like I have a neighbor here who's, have you got, hang on. He was amazing. Where's Robert? Come on. Can you see? I want my eyes to work.
There's 120 divas.
This is fun.
$120.
Oh.
Ooh, Jade Thirlwall.
Jade Thirlwall. Yeah, you've got her. Oh no, that's all. Yeah. Well, and did you not know she was in it?
Girl, I don't know. Shit, I know that I'm in it, and that's about as far as my knowledge goes.
Yeah, well, Jade. So this is Jade from Little Mix. So everyone in Britain will know, and all little gays will know.
Little Mix has a new album. Have you been listening?
I listened to one of the songs I absolutely love.
Which song?
Kylie's albums beat them in England. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were both released at the same time. Kylie was winning.
Good for Kylie. It's her moment.
Yeah, no, I just listened to some of it. So Jade came. So Jade asked me to do a shoot with her for something else, and I thought, okay, let's get her in the box. And she said, oh my God, I'd love to. So we did 2 different things, and I just loved this. And then my friend said, what did she say? She described it. I love it when people read into boxes and come up with the whole creative narrative of it. And she said it was the restrictions of the society's restrictions of women to be something of the femme and the this and the that to be perfect. And I thought, okay, fine, that'll do. Let's say that's what it is.
Jade from fucking Little Mix is literally, she's the most drag person.
Oh, I know, she's obsessed.
She loves drag. She loves participating in drag. She's the one who asked us to be in the music video for Power. Like, that was all her.
Because she asked me to do the behind the scenes on Power. So we all worked on, I was doing all the stills on the Power video and you were all there.
Yeah. And
I got the call to do it while Alaska was with me here. And I went, oh my God, I've just been asked to do Little Mix. And Alaska said nothing. And I didn't, you didn't say, oh, I'm going to be doing it. You just went, great. Until we walked onto the studio lot. And I'm like, oh, hi.
It was like Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, someone like that.
That's sickening.
That was really
so wait,
fun.
we have a few questions in the chat box. Some of these are fantastic. What do you do to keep yourself motivated and interested in your work?
Well, like with this project, because it was the light's the same in every single image.
Yes.
So it was really fun coming up with ideas and bringing them to fruition. And it's like a craft. I'd be really happy when I was sort of painting the box or staple gunning things in, or it was just felt really creative and that I could, and statementy, and you could tell stories. And so it would, the fact that I tore the box down was because I have now had enough. And so it's like people are asking, do I see it continuing? And it's not really. It feels a shame because people still really want to take part in it. But I feel like this book is kind of the closing the chapter to it, because it's been nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's been great, but also all the kids think all I do is shoot in a white box. So they don't know about white drag. They don't, so they just think, oh, he's the white box guy. And then I would read, for my stupidity, I'd go onto Reddit and look up my own name.
Never do that.
I know. And then see, is he ever going to clean that box? Things like that. He could at least paint that box. It's like, all right. Oh, that's Eden. I love that one of Eden. That's made entirely, the whole shot is made by her foot coming out of the shoe. That's what makes it perfect.
So stunning. Someone has asked, is that House Labs in Dust that you're wearing, Alaska? What is Dust? Is that the blush? Because I am wearing a House Labs blush, and I don't know the name of that, but
Dumpster Look from 55 vibes. What's that?
My dumpster look.
Oh, you mean that?
Oh yeah, Jade. Because I wore saran wrap.
Okay. You mean that first one? 50 from season 5.
Season
it said S5.
The very first. Yeah,
no, I remember it. You shot when you couldn't walk in it, but you looked incredible.
Can't walk, but she looks great.
Yeah,
she looks great standing still.
It was great, and also because you were being everyone was sort of worried because you were doing this thing of being Sharon's, everyone expecting so much, and you looked all panicked, and then you came on and you were just phenomenal on the runway, and so it was like, oh, she's amazing.
We're covering that on the podcast right now, like that season, and it's like watching home movies of myself where only the traumatic things happen. It's very weird, but it's
with different lips.
I don't know what you mean by that. I think I've just grown more,
Oh,
I just filled out.
It's clever use of lipstick, as Liz Hurley used to say.
Yeah.
Just clever use of lipstick.
Yeah. Makeup tricks. So wait, what else have we got? Such an incredible project. We love.
Thank you.
Are you already thinking about the next book?
No, I think
you have to get this.
This one hasn't even come out yet. So it's like and also it's been so weird because of 2020. The idea, I was so looking forward to having massive book launches in London and New York, and like I did with White Drag, I had these incredible things, and now it's it's
2020
2020. So I'm hoping that I can actually do proper things during Pride season next year if we're going to have, and then I can actually do events and things like that. But I don't know. It took me 2 years after White Drag, to a year and a half to come up with this. It's like I want to come up with something. I was looking at doing something with porn stars, and then I thought, and then I started doing a bit, and then I started working with someone from the next season of Drag Race. I'm not telling you who. And then I went, oh my God, this is my thing. I love doing drag, and fine. So I've just got to. I want to come up with something, but it has to feel different. It's like this is a shift away from wide drag, and I need another shift. But it'll come. But it's just. I've now got 2 books, which is because they always go, well, one's easy, and it's doing, getting another one.
The follow-up is always, yeah. So wait, can you hand it to me?
Yeah.
I want to physically show you the book. Have some of you ordered it already? Because right now it's available to what? You can pre-order it?
You get signed, but they've got signed copies. At BookSoup.
At BookSoup.
And you click on the click on the blue thing.
So yeah, you can click on the thing and get a signed copy. That's exciting.
But Joan's got it. I know you got it, Joan, because you came and collected it from me. Adore looks amazing. Yeah, that was fun, that one of Adore. I'm being really bad at reading this. Watching the posts every day in Toronto. Oh, hi, Carl and Scott. Oh, watching the post. Yes. What is it? He's amazing. He's like this. Let's see. He's like this. He's a titan of HIV. He's an infectious disease specialist and was on the front line in New York during COVID and was messaging me saying it was worse than anyone could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And he used to go, but he's like the guy who would. Well, Leo.
Is it Leo?
Yeah.
That's Leo Forte, Eva. Leo Forte went on tour with the AAA girls with us. He was like,
there you go, number 106, Sam. I know, I love that. And also, it's the one that, because people would bring up the fact of Madonna's, what's it called? Human Nature and the white box and him. So this is referencing Madonna's Human Nature.
I love that.
With the, what's the Folsom, the Chihuahua.
No, you might know Leo as a pornographic actor, but Leo also has a drag inside her.
Yeah, called
really,
Queen.
Really
is it called Queen or She? No, called She.
She's the her. She's the woman.
The triple A girls are iconic. They're terrible. Nonsense.
There's a song on Kylie's new album that sounds like it sounds like Pride or Die, a AAA girls song.
What?
It's like
Is that new?
On the new, well, no, I mean the AAA girls song is that, but on Kylie's album, there's a song that sounds exactly like Pride or Die. Why do you hate track 3? Now, see, now we have to hit the hard-hitting question. Why do you hate track 3 so much? That's literally my friend Nick's favorite song on the album.
It's terrible.
It's polarizing.
It's horrible. It's like clunky, chunky 80s nonsense.
Really?
Yeah. Now, Dex is amazing. Obviously, everyone knows Dex. And then he's on the cover as well. Dexter Mayfield. Let me try and answer a question. Alaska, you've got to focus.
I can't. First of all, there's a dick.
Yeah.
Do we have him?
No.
Are we allowed to show that?
Yeah. I love this one. She's 85 and she came over, and this is based on the phrase was it Jermaine Greer? It was somebody. No, not Jermaine Greer. It was somebody else who did a thing. This is what 40 looks like, which was basically in the 70s when women were made to feel absolutely worthless over 40.
Right.
And so, and it was a feminist statement. And so she came in and we did, this is what 85 looks like. And she was so wonderful and she just wanted to dance. And yeah, and so I love her. And she did, she did done some amazing sort of work with AIDS patients when no one would touch them and things like that. She's incredible.
She's sickening.
It's my fave. How dare you? What's your fave? Track 3.
Track 3.
Terrible.
It's on.
Track is great.
We've got Silky Nutmeg Ganache in there.
You can't.
Oh my gosh. What?
Well, you can't. What are you just looking? So your nose is pointing down and you're telling people what's to do.
This book is outstanding.
Who else have we got? I'll put Cooper on. So this is another 139. This is another example of doing something which is lo-fi special effects, like the Bo Banks one. So to get him to feel like he's floating in space.
Oh my god!
But you can see he's holding a rope and he's balancing on a box. But that's so it's all. But it's all real. It's not retouched. And I love that. And that was I think one of the this was done during COVID because we had a discussion whether we dared do it. And I'd always had this vision for it to be like going into outer space. And so I love that picture. That's one of my favorites. And it hasn't been released yet. I've got to release it. We want to see the photo with the dick.
Are we allowed?
I don't think we are allowed, but I don't think it's here.
Oh, it's not in the file.
I don't think it's in the file. Who else have we got? Who is in the file? What else? What else? That core strength. It's not. He's got a rope. There's no core strength. He's got a rope and it's balancing.
I saw the rope.
Oh, that one. That was amazing. That's a spun one. So when I don't do retouching, he was like standing on his hands, but he's still. I mean, it looked incredible standing on his hands anyway. And then I flipped it because I just thought it actually. It feels like he could actually be doing that with enough. So that
That's amazing. So it's rotated.
So yeah, it was. So he's doing He's doing like a very bendy handstand.
I love that.
And then I just spun it. And as I was just playing with it, I spun it and went, actually, it feels better. And it really feels like he could be physically doing it.
I love that. Yeah.
And the shadows were in the right place by some miracle. Because you have to be careful of shadows.
Right.
Shadows.
Someone says, hands down, Alaska is the best competitor on Drag Race. Thank you very much.
No, Bianca's better. Courtney's much better, much easier to photograph. But since she moved to England, I had to get a new muse.
She is. No, girl. I consider myself a great collaborator of yours, but I know who your fucking muses are. I know Courtney and Farrah are at the top of the list.
I've done Farrah forever.
I know.
She's
your muse.
So Alaska is the best, period.
Okay.
All right, we'll take it. I'm not going to argue because then I'll just get hate mail.
By the Vanity, of course.
Vanity was my original muse.
Right.
She was my the one I found in Sydney, and we did stuff together. And she was absolutely. But then Courtney and I moved to California at the same time, so then we started doing everything together. And I shot her audition video for Drag Race and all of that stuff. So we did everything. But she's now in London, obviously.
Who's this in the pink?
How was Willem? What you have two have done together, Meg? What? How?
Wow, so stunning.
Willem's great. Willem's in the book. What? I don't get the question. How was Willem? Love what you two have done together. Do you mean me and Willem, or me and Alaska? I think Willem stopped using me because I lost a folder of her pictures. No, well, no, they were ancient. So now she's off with what she called. She's always with that other one. So she's using another photographer for everything.
Wow.
So fuck her. Well, the book we talked about on Hot Goss. What's Hot Goss?
Yeah, definitely. Well, Hot Goss is a podcast that I do with Willem.
Well, no, it won't be then, clearly. No, Willem was here the other day. Willem's great.
Yes. Do we have any last questions? First of all, well, we want to, if you haven't already, you can get a signed copy of Rainbow Revolution. There's a link in the box, right?
Yeah.
In the doodly-doo. Yeah. There's a link in the doodly-doo.
We do have questions in the question, specifically in the question area, if you want me to read them to you.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this one's a double from Jess. So one for each of you. So Magnus, what is your favorite picture you've ever taken? And Alaska, what is the favorite picture ever taken of you?
Can I guess what yours is?
You know what mine is.
Your favorite picture ever?
That I take, yeah.
Is it Vanity dressed as
that one?
Vanity dressed like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, which is just drinking a beer.
Drinking a beer with her feet up on the table.
So beautiful. The recreation of the look is perfect.
Just if anyone wants to see it, in fact, Scott and Carl own it. But if anyone wants to see that, then they just Google my name and Dorothy, and it'll come up. Or it's in Why Drag, in fact. It's in my other book, which is here.
Was that right?
Hang on, stay there. Coming back. Do your question.
Oh, what is my favorite picture that Magnus has ever taken of me? Oh my
or
goodness.
Just of you in general.
Well, Magnus did this shoot that we used on the cover of the magazine. It was like the gay something magazine.
What was it?
It was me in like just the black gloves and the black boots and the duct tape, very just like classic Alaska, and they used it on the cover of a magazine, like, and that look is the look, like that's what I see Alaska in anytime I envision her, and it's just very iconic, and I absolutely love that one. You're like, I don't even remember.
That's the Dorothy.
Oh, it's
that's
so
the Dorothy
good.
picture. Okay, so that's my favorite picture.
And Courtney on the cover.
And Courtney's on the cover. So we also have this you can get from Book Soup too, and I'll come and sign some of those. Okay.
So from Sabrina, what is the creative process like for you when setting up a shot and different components for a visual? Does it change depending on who you're working with?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what. Yeah, depends on what I'm doing. I mean, because I'm thinking in this instance about the box all the time, there's a restriction, and so you're trying to do what works within that, but to adapt it. But generally, it depends. It's like sometimes I'll know what I want to do and be very specific, and other times I'll have no clue and just wing, just kind of go, well, we'll just, like the first time we ever shot together, I basically went, come on, Alaska. We jumped in my car and we drove around, and I went, let's try that, and let's try that, and it's what I did with the door as well. It's like I had an assistant with a light, and basically we just it's like, let's make it happen and make it work, which is kind of what I used to describe as guerrilla photography, and I love doing it. I mean, I'm now. It's like I've done so much of that and using the streets that I'm kind of a bit over it. But I mean, until I find a new place to do, because I've done the Hollywood streets so much. But I mean,
we ended up behind Fatburger, wasn't
yeah,
it?
that's that really iconic.
The color of the building was really beautiful.
Yeah, there's blue, and that became, became a shower curtain that you wore.
Yeah, and Fatburger has amazing Impossible burgers and gluten-free buns. So
I had a breakfast last night.
Really?
At midnight. I know.
Word.
No, it was terrible. I was like, oh god. Anyway.
Fat fries or skinny fries?
Fat fries.
Yeah. Honestly, same.
So Nick asks, how did you come up with the idea of the box?
Like I said before, I came up with it because I wanted to do something that was a social media friendly shape. I wanted to do something that so I could enlist the whole. I very much wanted to move from drag into the whole of the queer community. I wanted to really involve trans people. So I wanted something that was like a blank canvas that people could express themselves and create. And I love, and I mean, I've used boxes in my work before. I used boxes for Christmas Queen's album covers. And it just suddenly made sense to have a white box because it bounces light everywhere. Also, that's great. You can do, you can, like you've got Silky there. You've just got someone standing in it, creating a shape, and it looks great. Or you can hang things in it and create. So it's like, I mean, and the initial idea was that there'd be a white box. Everyone starts from the same place, and it's about equality. And then I went, but we don't all start from the same place, do we? So that's a big bag of bullshit. So. But it's a nice idea. But it was something for that I just knew it would work, and it would be interesting to see what people did with it and to let them have free reign. And some people really wanted to come up with ideas, and other people would just arrive and kind of be a bit timid and not know. It's very performer and artist heavy, the project. But then but I wanted it to be because you want to be able to want to go back to the pictures. And as much as it's lovely having a plumber standing there, I had my doctor there, and and I love his picture, but he came in and he's just a handsome doctor in his jeans. And then I'm in my head, I'm going, okay, right, how the fuck am I going to make this interesting? And I then actually did superimpose in. After he left, I then bought a skeleton, life-size skeleton and different things, and I put them into the box, and then I sent them back to Amazon, so I didn't have to pay for them. But then it created a doctor. I did that a few times.
We love
like
that.
With a door, I wanted a huge old-fashioned microphone, so I got that on Amazon and sent it back. But yeah,
sorry, it wasn't right.
No,
yeah, sorry.
No. I already got one. Sorry, I got two by mistake. Okay, did that answer the question?
Yeah.
The red wine kicking in. I got that.
So I think this is another one from Nick, but I like it. So forever who's not in your book, if you could put any two people in the box, who would you put?
God. I don't. Oh God, there's so many different people. It's like my brain won't function now. I'm always thinking. There's always people I think, oh shit, why didn't I get them? I tell you who I like. I mean, I tried. There's some people I tried and I didn't get. I don't know.
LaToya Jackson. Paula Abdul.
Why would I want? But together,
we could have gotten anyone for this show. LaToya, Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul.
No, I got everyone I wanted, and it was perfect.
I mean,
That's great.
Yeah,
right.
This one's from Jaden. That says, Magnus, if you could do a photo shoot with Alaska and any other queen, who would it be in Alaska? Who would you choose?
I choose Serena Chacha.
I love Serena Chacha. I've actually gotten wigs from her because she does wigs now. Yeah, and they're like really big and like voluminous. I love Serena Chacha. I liked her on our season.
Was she on your season?
She got a really rough kind of treatment from the other girls because she was very young and very she was a bit ran off at the mouth at everyone.
Yeah.
But I had a really nice time with her. I think she's really funny and nice.
No, I just said because when I was working on my drag, I was filming it, which never happened in the end. But the filmmaker kept going because he was from Miami, and he kept going, what about we get Serena Chacha?
I love that. He's vouching for her.
But I was just, I don't want fucking Serena Chacha. And it became a running joke. But obviously fell flat because Alaska's so kind and nice and kind word about everyone. I want a rude word about somebody.
I aspire to kind.
A rude word.
Oh,
who'd you hate?
LaToya Jackson.
No, who'd you what drag queen?
No, LaToya Jackson and I have a public feud.
Why?
Because she was really rude to me on Drag Race, and it's still not over it.
What Drag Race alumni do you not like? They're my sisters.
No, I could rack my brain all day, and there's no one that who could possibly. No one.
Okay.
No. I love drag, and I love drag queens, and I love Drag Race. So that's it.
You're all amazing.
Shade.
I want shade and more shade.
Tea and shade.
Okay. Anything?
So we do have more. I'm sifting through them. This is from Bernice. How did you plan out the process of putting the book together? Was it scheduled or more organic?
Oh my God! Well, it was torturous. So basically, the book was. I got the deal, and then it started to be. Then we were talking about me handing over files, and in the end, I went, you know what? I think I should put it together, and then you can with Chronicle. Then you can look at what I've done because it's so personal about what sits with. I mean, my pitch I'd already laid some out, and put some pages have 4 images, some have solo images. So it's so important what sits next to what. So basically, I printed out. I've got a selection down to that. God knows how many pictures. Printed them all out, and then for 10 weeks they were stuck through my entire home on every wall. And I would be moving things around and going, now that works with that and that works with that, but what if that's small and then that needs to be there? And it was like Carrie Matheson in Homeland. I was a nutcase, and then most of it would work, and then bits wouldn't work, and then I had to lose a couple of pictures I really wanted in there, but because they just wouldn't fit. And funnily enough, Farah's was one that nearly didn't make it, even though I love her picture. But I was just couldn't place it. Yeah, and I wanted it big, and now it worked. And then finally, it's like but as I said, it seriously took 10 weeks, and then finally pieced together, and now it's kind of everything sits right next to each other, and that was. It seems simple, and it's just because if the balance is off with pictures next to other pictures, then it just looked like shit. And also, it had to be balanced with people of color and everything, and it was a lot of a process.
When you have so many assets, it is complicated. I've worked in publishing, and it's crazy. Yeah,
and you did want to, and especially because it's political, this book, and you wanted to get it right, and I didn't want any tokenism. I wanted to really feel like it really expressed everybody's point of view, and so it was, it was hard. I mean, I PC this about one of the last trip I made to London. I literally said, because I felt like it was lacking in people of color, and I kind of ended up. I mean, I'd done a lot, but I then made the statement, and I just basically everyone who wanted to do it, I just went, "Sorry, you're white. No, you can't." So I didn't shoot any white people on my last. It was like, no, done. Especially white men and white women. I shoot a lovely lesbian, but I wasn't shooting. But I wasn't shooting any white men on my last trip.
This is from Gigi. It is, who is your favorite queen to shoot?
Alaska.
Lies.
No, I actually
charades.
Alaska when she makes an effort. No, I love shooting Alaska because Alaska's incredible and creative, and so that's genuinely true. I love shooting Courtney. I loved Bianca. Was always really fun. Everyone's, because I work with the best drag queens, so they're all pretty damn good. It's the caliber, and there's a difference when you have people. There's nothing worse than people kind of going, "Well, tell me what to do," and if they don't know. But the whole essence of drag, and I choose who I want to work with, and so it's like when I've had to shoot people really, really fast. And drag queens will get up there, and in 5 frames, they'll give you something. Whereas with models, often you're coaxing it out of them. It's a whole different ballgame. But drag queens are so used to going, right, there's a camera, bang, and they turn it. So that's already exciting. And then getting to work with the best drag queens is I just wish I could work with Serena Chacha.
There's still time. You still can.
Jameson asks, how and when did you two discover you shared a creative vision?
What?
I don't know. When was the first time that we shot together? Was that the Fat Burger
day? But that was when I was doing Y Drag and Chanel Perillo. Yeah. Chanel Perillo hooked us up. Yeah. And just said, you've got to shoot with Magnus. And then we just had fun and did that. And then, but also because you went, oh my God, these are really pretty. It's like, I guess when I first worked with Willem, when they were doing the DWV, and Willem took one look at the first shots I did, and he went, oh my God, you know how to shoot drag. Amazing. And it's like,
and that's the, I want to bring that up, but we're almost out of time, but I do really want to bring up that your way of, I mean, yes, it's like lighting and it's technical, but your ability to see drag and like put it on in photos, that is like, it's really, really special. It's your fucking magic.
Well, I've always said
you're so good at it.
Well, my endless thing is because I was a drag baby and I grew up completely lip syncing, cross dressing, and then was shamed out of it. I've always felt. I feel like I'm coming from the inside out. I don't feel like I'm observing. I feel like I understand it. I understand wanting to do it, but I don't want to do it now. This is my way of expressing it. Yeah. But I feel like I'm coming from the inside. I'm not observing. So I think, and when I'm directing people, it's like I've got my insane drag legs. I literally have drag legs. And so I'll be sitting there. I remember directing, what's she called? The one who's in the Vegas, you know, the Vegas thing.
Cameron Michaels.
The black.
Naomi.
No.
Asia O'Hara.
So I'm directing Asia, and I'm literally going, sort of showing her what I want with legs, and my legs are going full drag pointy toe. Yeah, going, and she's going, oh my God, they're better than mine. It's like, okay, but it's just, you know. So I have an affinity with it, and it's always felt like my home, and I get it. So that's,
yeah.
Did I go off the tangent?
No, not at all.
That's beautiful. Do you want to do one more question?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm trying to find the best one here. Here's a good one from Eric. What message do you want people to take away from the book?
Eric, get away from her. There was this video, and it was Ursula the Sea Witch saying, Eric, get away from her. And then they use that clip in every overdub of every language. That it doesn't exist anymore on YouTube. I've looked for it. But it was like,
was it a Vine?
Get away from her. And then it was her saying it in Spanish and then Romanian. But I'm sorry, what was the question?
what I want people to take away from my book. No. I want people to, it's funny, the thing that when you adding in the essays, it was when I was trying to talk to my mum, my mum who's 75, and my stepfather's in his 80s, and my uncle, and it was like they're interested, but they still don't know, you know, this bombardment now, I guess, from their terms of the new gender identities and new names for everything, and there's this really in a funny and interesting and moving way lets people in without being snotty. It lets people, you know, if you read the essays, you really get to understand people's point of view and wherever they come from, and in an empathetic way, rather than going, oh God, I've really got to call them they, and then when's the other person arriving? And you know, it opens it up, and I want people to be able to take this book and look at the pictures and get into the pictures, but then also take the time to read the essays. That when I wrote, I ended up, because I was giving everyone questions to answer, and I thought I better answer them myself. So I have an essay in there, and when I answered the questions, because I was amazed at how personal people were getting, and they were really opening up, and I started to answer my own questions, and I ended up sobbing and crying and going through a whole moment and a revelation about my mother that I had, you know, and it really, and it's, so I want it something that people can, it's a way in that I think it's not soft coating it, it's just going, opening it up and going, these people are all vulnerable and wonderful, and if you take the time, you'll see that this world is just amazing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful answer.
It's a rainbow. It's a fucking rainbow. It really is.
Rainbow revolution. Topper?
And I'm sure. I'm really grateful that we got to, like, I'm grateful that we get to shoot pictures all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be a part of the book and to be on the cover. And I thank you. And
I thank you, because you're my angel. You help me out with loads of things.
That's Rainbow Revolution.
Click the button on BookSoup.
Click the button on BookSoup and you can get a signed copy. It's really amazing. I want a signed copy. I'm going to
give you one.
Oh.
No, you can't have a
okay.
$50. So is that it?
There's more questions, but we are out of time. It's totally up to you if you want to keep answering them.
Well, no, I'm not done, but I think that if you buy the book, your questions will be answered. That's
very clever.
And we thank all of you for joining us and for being here. I see you, Bernice. I see you, Jelena. I see you, Goldalaski. I see you, Nick. I see all you divas. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. And I hope anyone who has tuned in from London hasn't fallen asleep yet. Paula,
so late at night.
Paula, Jeff, one. thank you for tuning in.
Thank you both so much for joining us. This is my favorite event this week, and don't tell the others, but I was looking forward to this. So I'm really honored to be here with you both, and this is such a beautiful book. Everyone, please support Magnus and Book Soup, independent bookstores. Please, no Amazon, as long as you can help it, and or do the return thing, but not with the books. So
not with the books, send them.
Not with the books. That's why you go to independent bookstores. So thank you all for watching, and this will be on YouTube, so you can rewatch it. You can rewatch it here. Magnus in Alaska, please have a wonderful.
Yeah.
Please have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you
so much. Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.